This is the kind of truck that I would probably get. This has been a lot easier to park and drive around than some of the bigger SUVs that we've driven. Plus you have the bed in the back. So for us, if we were gonna get a truck, this would make the most sense.
Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Back there's Tucker.
Yep, that's me.
And we are in the answer to the Ford Maverick that came out first. If that makes any sense, we're in Hyundai's 2025 Santa Cruz XRT, the off-road trim. And in this video, we'll tell you how this mini urbanite truck fits our family of three. Stay tuned. All right, Holly, you've had this one more than I have over our week with it, but I did get to have a little bit of a speed date with this one in Los Olivos, California earlier this year. But I have to ask you, what are your thoughts first and foremost on the styling of this slightly refreshed 2025 Santa Cruz XRT?
Yeah, it's an interesting car.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That little sigh means we're in for an interesting one, I believe. So
No.
I will go ahead and preface this. This is built off of a shared platform with a vehicle we've both loved in the Tucson from Hyundai, but it is a much different vehicle because there's a bed back there.
Right.
And does that weigh into your,
Yeah, because it's interesting. I'm not sure that you buy this truck, car, SUV for its looks.
Okay.
I mean, I know some people like the uniqueness of it, and I do like anybody that takes risks. But it feels like the look of this is more utilitarian than like to be stylish on the road.
Okay.
Maybe?
Okay.
No? Is that a bad
I
estimate?
mean, well, this is the XRT trim, so it is more geared towards off-roading. It's got different wheels and tires, leaning into the off-road ability a little bit more with that. And the fact that it's got a truck bed, there's that.
Makes it all a little
I
interesting.
do have a friend, female friend online, that says she feels like all of these, Subaru Baja included, car, truck, SUV things are like a mullet. Business up front, party in the back.
Yeah, yeah,
So there's that.
yeah.
Okay.
That. It's kind of like a mullet.
Moving inside, you haven't gotten time in a 2025 Tucson yet, but we have spent time in a 24 and a 23 Tucson. Slight updates in here. What are your thoughts on the interior design?
So there's some things that I really like, and then there's some things that are very basic.
Okay.
So like the materials up here, kind of very basic.
Yeah.
The steering wheel's kind of basic. I do like the, they've updated the H.
Yeah.
To the whatever Braille.
Morse code.
Yeah, Braille. No, Morse code. I like this little shelf here.
Yes.
I really like the shelf.
Oh, it's hollow, so careful what you put up here. It might make
But
some
it
noise.
does have the pad
Yes.
here a little bit, and then it's got the sections too.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
Hello.
So I do like that, but the design is
Utilitarian.
very basic. But I do like the big
Yes.
screen that goes
So
on.
that is the
That looks
big
really cool.
update for 2025.
And it's curved too. I like that.
Dual 12.3 inch screens, and you can tell, like, that is a massive upgrade from the 10 and a quarter inch screen in previous versions of this pickup truck. So
Yeah, it makes it, I mean, it brings it into this
modern
era too. And you've got some,
wonder if that's magnetic. Can we go get some magnetic succulents and put it, would that change
that would
this
change my whole opinion.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go see our family review of the Ioniq 5. You'll know exactly.
Should have, why was that the first thing I did?
Further storage thoughts in here. You already talked about the shelf. You've got your
really like
Qi
the
wireless charger down here. That seems to be working quite well. A little bit of storage right there. 2 cup holders.
Yeah, and you can turn that off
Yep.
and on, right?
Yep.
So I like that.
Decent size center console. Storage in the door.
This has some of the gloss black.
It's here too. I don't love it on the door.
I don't love it on the door.
But it works.
It's all right.
USB-C ports for charging and for if you have to plug in to interface wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
I do like that there's not button overload on the steering wheel. It's just your basic ones. I like that. I like the scrolly.
Yes,
You
me
know
too.
I like that.
Me too. But have you noticed the track forward and backward buttons are backwards?
No, I haven't played with them at all.
So yeah, you have to go down for next and up for repeat. They're backwards from how
You would think they would go?
Yeah. But interior space up here is fairly nice. What about for you back there in the back seat, Tucker?
Yeah, if her seat scoots back, not very much room.
Yeah, it's a little tight, a little snug for you back there in your car seat. But I guess this would be a good stopping point to talking about storage back there in the back, putting in his child safety seat, and then the storage in the way back. Because there's a few tricks up this Santa Cruz's sleeves. Before I bring Tucker's child safety seat in, I want to show you just what the back seat is like for adults sitting behind myself. Plenty of room, very spacious, very comfortable back here. I would put this on par with any midsize pickup truck in the segment. And this is a compact pickup, so I'd say this is very spacious back here, especially like against a Tacoma. We get some nice amenities like air vents on the back of the center console, 2 USB-C ports, map pocket on the back of the passenger, but not the driver's seat. Fold down armrest with 2 cup holders, and generally not much else back here except for a cup holder in the door, surrounded by a lot of shiny black plastic. Not my favorite, but bringing in Tucker's Graco Extend-A-Fit child safety seat, we're going to go ahead and see just how much room the vehicle has in its rear-facing configuration. And yes, we're going to have to move this seat forward. This is a manual driver seat, so we'll scoot that up. My goodness. Looks like we have to scoot it up all the way. My knees are absolutely in the dash. Not super comfortable. That is a bit unfortunate, but it does fit. So luckily, kids only ride in the rear-facing format for a little bit of time. But if you're looking to buy this with a kid on the way, or a kid still rearward facing, definitely something to consider. Now, one thing midsize and compact pickup trucks normally get wrong are the top tethers. Normally you had to like fold the seat back down like in the Toyota Tacoma. Not so here in the Hyundai Santa Cruz. You get a little top tether anchor point right behind the headrest, but it'll be interesting to see just how easy that is to tighten up here in just a moment. Lower latch points are in between the seat back and seat bottom, and they are exposed. Let's see how easy they are to attach. Fairly easy there. Come around in here. Let's see, fairly easy there. Go ahead and tighten this one down. Yep, that's good and snug. Pull the top tether. Now that's good and snug, but I'm very curious just how easy this will be to get out. As far as it goes for installation, very easy versus sales leaders in the midsize segment like the Toyota Tacoma, and I'd say this is a strong win. Now let's go take a look at storage, because there's some in here and back there. We'll start here in the cabin, because underneath the back seat you have some under seat storage in this little tub bin. You can see it goes all the way across over there, but we do have a little hump here in the middle for the drive shaft, but nice under seat storage. Unfortunately for us, we always put Tucker's child safety seat here on the passenger side. That's where the 60% is, so this is going to be stuck in place, and it is exactly why I decided to show you after we put Tucker's child safety seat in. Coming around to the back of the pickup truck, well, it's a pickup truck, so you have a bed, you have a damped tailgate, which is nice. You have a roller shade here that you can push forward, and you've got a nice lead to pull it back. Nice amenities back here. You have a button right here for all your LED lighting on the back of the cab and such, so I like that a lot. movable tie-down points, fixed in place tie-down points all the way around. Very nice, very usable. And then we've got an in-bed trunk. So you can see just a little bit of weather-tight storage in here. As dusty as it is all the way around, it is still nice and clean in there. And yes, we do have a drain plug, so you can turn that into a shallow cooler, but a cooler nonetheless. And then we can go ahead and pull that shut, put our lead back in. Whoop, make sure it touches, I guess. And there you go. Usable truck bed with a retractable cover, which I really like, but it doesn't keep dust out. It is very dusty back there still. But there is a section that does keep dust out in that in-floor, in-bed trunk, though it's not as deep as the Ridgeline that you and I both like.
Right.
But it is weather tight, and you can store some stuff back there if you must.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts about this as a city truck? Because that's exactly what this was designed for. We went to the pumpkin patch yesterday. It would be great for throwing some pumpkins back in the back, going and getting some mulch, some city tasks that maybe
Garage selling.
Maybe you don't want to get the inside of your vehicle dirty.
This is the kind of truck that I would probably get. Is something like this if I was going to get a truck, because it's what we would need. This has been a lot easier to park and drive around than some of the bigger SUVs that we've driven. Plus you have the bed in the back. So for us, if we were going to get a truck, this would make the most sense over like a King Ranch or something like that.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. I think this is as much truck as most truck buyers actually need.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're in truck capital of the world in Texas. And, I mean, I'm just watching them pass by us. And I bet you most of them are family vehicles more than anything, which this does very well because, as I mentioned earlier, it's on a shared platform with the Tucson SUV that we really liked, which is a crossover. It rides very smoothly, which perfect timing as we are turning on the historic brick streets of downtown Tyler, Texas. Tucker, how's your wobbly head back there?
Just a little wobbly.
Yeah, Holly? Thoughts?
This is really smooth for a truck, especially.
I mean, it's doing.
And for an SUV, even. Yeah, you didn't even.
Yeah.
I didn't even hardly jiggle.
Yeah. While you were talking, we just went over the biggest bump.
Yeah. Hit the biggest bump. We have.
Can't even tell it.
Had our ears rattled out on that in some vehicles, and this soaks it up nicely. It rides very well, very smoothly. Not like a truck whatsoever, because it's not a truck, because it's a crossover unibody based, but rides very well. You already said it's very easy to park. What's the power like? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel responsive? Like what's the?
It's kind of in the middle, I would say. It's not heavy.
Okay.
I haven't had a hard time like getting up to speed or anything like that. But when I first started driving it, there was like, I guess kind of a, I don't know if you'd call it a learning curve or whatever with the power, because I would be like,
Yeah.
Like it felt like I had to push the.
I think that is more due to the transmission than anything else in this one.
I don't know, maybe, but it felt like I had to like really push on the gas a lot to get it going, and then that was like too much.
So this one does have a different powertrain than the Tucson that we have sampled a couple of times here on the channel. 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, so it's got quite a bit of power. It's definitely got to get up and go once it gets up and goes. While we're stopped here, I will call out, we've got 360 cameras with a quick access button here. I really like this function that you can pan around the vehicle there. You've got blind spot cameras when you turn your blinker on over there. So visibility out of this one is fairly good, but what's it like from the driver's seat?
Yeah, it's fairly good. I do like the cameras. The cameras have they're good quality cameras. The only weird thing I have to say, and maybe this is just because I'm a short person, or maybe it's because it has the truck bed on it, but the windows out the back are small, but they're also tall. And so I can't see for a little ways like the ground, the road, which I can see cars if they're behind me. but I can't see the ground they're sitting on, which is just a little weird.
So you're saying this would benefit from a rear view camera mirror, which this does not have even as
Could.
an option.
It could.
Okay.
Could. I'm getting more used to the cameras.
I really like this as a total package. I brought up the Maverick when we started this. The Maverick has even stolen the hearts of American shoppers because Ford can't make those quick enough. Hyundai also can't make these quick enough, but they aren't making them at the same pace that Ford is. The Maverick is by far more popular, but what are your thoughts between this and, I know it's been a while since we've had a Maverick. I like the interior on this one better than the Maverick, for sure.
Yeah, I think I do too. I definitely like this. That's nice. It does feel on the inside like a step up from the Maverick. But I think I liked the Maverick.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's weird, huh?
It's a little shocking, but I mean, we are all entitled to our opinions. You should definitely go check them both out if you can find them.
I like them both.
Yes.
I like them.
They are both kind of hard to come by because both vehicles are at capacity. They're making them as quickly as they can. But it's just production issues and woes. The window sticker is on my phone on this one. So sorry, Tucker, I can't pass it back to you. But I can talk about, since I already brought up the 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 18 mpg in the city, 26 highway, 21 combined. We've put 53 miles on this one. We're getting 16 flat. Like I said, most of that is you driving it.
Yeah.
So,
Gee, that's not great.
not even getting the EPA.
I'm the more fuel efficient one driver.
But we have driven this one exclusively on errands in town.
That's true.
And so not
But
entirely
still, that's
fair.
not great.
But yeah, 16. So there's
I am the more, if he was driving, it would be lower.
rude.
Yeah, you too.
Lastly, before we get into like
16.1.
yeah, the
Okay.
cost of it, what are your thoughts on seats and their comfortability?
The seats are comfortable.
Yeah.
I like them.
They're synthetic. I'll go ahead and throw it out there. Not real leather. The Syntex seating surfaces. They're heated but not ventilated. You have a power seat but not memory seat. So you give up a little on luxuries when you get the XRT, but this is the only XRT model from Hyundai that has 360 cameras, which is just mind-blowing to me. But care to guess what you think the price is on this one?
39.
Very close, but under.
Under?
41,605 as this one is.
You know, I was going 42 first.
Yeah, you would have been as perfect as the last vehicle we tried, but still pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Economical in 2024. I mean, let's face
Well,
it.
especially
vehicles
for a
aren't cheap.
truck.
Yeah.
If you're calling this a truck, I know some people aren't calling it. I call it a truck. It's a truck.
It does truck things. It does what.
People call SUVs trucks. This can be a truck.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, I call this a truck too.
Tucker calls it a truck. Knowing the price, you said this would be more like what we would buy if we were in the market.
For sure.
Does it keep itself in the conversation?
Yeah.
At that price point?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it. If you want to see more from her, some behind the scenes stuff, she's about to head off on a trip to New York. She's probably already been by the time you're seeing this. But follow along with her on Facebook and Instagram at Female Consumer. All things GT Garage Talk can be found at GT Garage Talk. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it, at GT Garage Talk, where you can find links to everything, including our podcast, at gtgaragetalk.com. But as for us, we're going to go check out some more pumpkins. It's fall, y'all, here in East Texas. Until next time, Gearheads. Bye.
Bye.